everyone loves Bluey more and more. However, this cartoon hides some crazy theories.
You didn't see anything.
Could Bluey's mom and dad not be faithful to each other? And Bingo, is she really Chili's daughter? As absurd as it may seem, there is a huge suspicion within the Bluey fan club that her and Bingo's parents are involved in relationships outside of their marriage. One piece of evidence is nothing less than an affair happening inside the Heeler household. When Bluey and Bingo's uncle arrives at the house to pick up Muffin, as soon as the children run to the living room, Chili and Stripe greet each other with a kiss on the lips. And you know what's even more suspicious? While Bluey, Bingo, and Muffin are in their imaginary library, the Heeler family matriarch and her brother-in-law are in the living room, having tea or coffee. But as soon as the kids come running in, they change the subject. What you need to pay attention to is that they were talking before being interrupted, and the phrase Chili says is very suspicious. She says,
"But, you know."
And the way Chili says it, a bit awkwardly, shrugging her shoulders and looking down, but still smiling, is very suspicious. Stripe is smiling too, showing that he also wants to talk more about the subject. If you connect the dots, you'll understand that she was talking about something that happened recently, an unresolved issue. That is, it's very likely that the little dog wanted to talk more about the kiss between them. Muffin, acting very spoiled, starts complaining about Bluey, even though she's the one disrupting the game. But look at how the two adult dogs glance at each other. It's all very, very suspicious. But this isn't the only Bluey theory that nearly knocks us out of our seats. There are many more. So join this wave, because another Cinewave is just starting. Get your tissues ready, because the next theory is going to make you cry. In episode Onesies, episode 32 of season 3, from the very beginning, we see Brandy, Bluey and Bingo's aunt, arriving at the Heeler house looking a bit concerned. Before going up the stairs, she bites her lip and tells herself that everything is fine. You can tell she's trying to stay composed. It's a very strange reaction. She should really be happy since she's going to see her sister and nieces, not anxious. But this reaction from Aunt Brandy is going to make sense in a very crazy way. As we know, Brandy has always wanted to have children, but due to her fertility issues, it took a long time for that to happen, and she only got pregnant towards the end of the 3rd season. However, there's a theory that says that when Brandy gets pregnant, it isn't the first time, as she already had a baby before, and that baby is Bingo. Yes, in reality, Brandy wouldn't be Bingo's aunt, but her biological mother. What happened is that when she gave birth to Bingo, she didn't have the financial means to raise the little one, so Chili adopted her, allowing Brandy to at least stay close to her daughter, even if it was by playing the role of aunt. What gives this theory more weight is the anxiety Aunt Brandy feels when arriving at the Heeler house, the maternal affection she shows while playing with Bingo, and just look at the physical resemblance between the two. If these theories are surprising you and you're enjoying the video so far, comment #chaos below in the comments. But beyond all that, still in the Onesies episode, as soon as she sees the pups, Betty, Brandy, says that Bluey looks just like her dad. But when Bingo asks who she looks like, Auntie freezes, not knowing how to answer, and gets a lost look in her eyes. Chili herself is the one who responds to Bingo's question, saying that she looks like herself.
"You look just like you."
Yes, all this could be just a coincidence, but we all know that the animators send us messages through these subtle details. If this really happened, I'm glad that Brandy at least gets to have a closer relationship with Bingo and can see how well Chili and Bandit are raising her. And since we're talking about him, let's move on to another crazy theory involving the Heeler patriarch. And this one is very shocking. Brace yourself. As everyone knows, the Heeler family lives a very comfortable life. They don't face financial struggles, and their house is estimated to be worth $1 million. Alright, but with such a good life, the money has to come from somewhere, right? It could have been the case that Bandit and Chili were heirs, but we know that's not true, as it's never mentioned in the series. Another possibility is that the two of them hold very important jobs, but that's not the case either. Bandit works as an archaeologist, and Chili works in airport security. While these are well-paying jobs, neither of them earns enough to afford such a comfortable life with their daughters. And here's where things start to get suspicious. We know that some people commit crimes by finding treasures in some countries and taking them to others, from jewels to archaeological discoveries. Transporting something like that out of nowhere without informing the authorities is a crime, and some people try to do this to make money. And this is exactly where one of the craziest Bluey theories fits in, suggesting that Bluey's mom and dad are actually involved in an international smuggling scheme. According to this theory, Bandit finds valuable items in the various countries he visits and manages to smuggle all of it through the airport with the help of his wife. Could it be that all this time the Heeler family has been living off scams? Speaking of suspicious things, let's talk about Bandit's relationship with Wendy, their neighbor. Even though they've been living next to each other for years, in the beginning, Wendy wasn't very close to the family patriarch. She seemed to want to keep her distance from him and even looked uncomfortable when he was around. But all of that changed. The relationship between Wendy and Bandit improved, but it improved a bit more than it should have. Some people say that love and hate walk hand in hand. Could this be what happened between the neighbors? Or was it that, as some fans believe, Wendy and Bandit had dated in the past, but they broke up and married other partners? However, after some years, they reconnected and love blossomed between them again. In Wendy's case, she's never seen with anyone else, being portrayed as a single mom in the show. But in Bandit's case, he has a wife, right? Poor Chili. Well, unless the two know about each other's affairs, and this is some kind of agreement between the couple. Man, this is all so weird. Like when he tells Wendy that he really enjoys spanking.
Do you know I like to smack my bum as hard as I can? Ow!
Many shows are basically cameras filming the daily lives of certain people and broadcasting it to viewers. This type of show is called a reality show. There are many of them, but have you ever imagined if Bluey's cartoon was actually one of these shows? A theory suggests that the entire life of the inhabitants in the Little Blue Dog's universe is monitored by cameras, and those are the images we're watching. You know when the characters look at the camera in Bluey? Well, that shows that they know they are in a reality show, so in those moments, they are looking directly at us. This really is a crazy theory. Can you imagine Bluey and her family being the Kardashians of that universe? This is a wild theory, but not as much as the next one. But before we continue, if you're having fun with this video, hit the subscribe button, activate the bell, and enjoy. We all know that Bluey and Bingo have a very active imagination. In every episode, we see the sisters inventing a new game. In episode 28 of the first season, the two little dogs play dress up as grandmas, Grandma Rita and Grandma Janet. So far, so good. However, a theory says that this is not just pretend. The sisters are not playing roles of their older selves, but the opposite. They are two elderly women pretending to be children again. Rita and Janet would be their real names, and Bluey and Bingo are their imaginary names. Furthermore, Chili and Bandit wouldn't be their parents, but their caregivers. Man, what a crazy theory! Continuing with this same idea that Little Healer is no longer a child, let's explore one of the most emotional theories about this cartoon. We all follow Bluey and her family's routine, and even though her parents aren't perfect, they are always shown as very good, loving, and understanding people. We never see them doing anything bad that hurts their daughters. Moreover, Bluey's routine is fantastic. She has loving parents, a companion sister, and great friends. Nothing bad happens, and when some confusion arises, it's always resolved, and everyone ends up happy in the end. This is all great for Bluey, but we know that in real life, not everything is this perfect. That's why many fans have started theorizing that everything we see in Bluey's cartoon isn't happening in the present. In fact, it all happened years ago, and Bluey herself is telling the story of her life to her children. This explains why everything is so positive. She remembers things that way, even if they didn't happen exactly like that. The Bluey show hasn't reached its conclusion yet, so imagine if, in the final episode, we discover this is the truth, and it shows an adult Bluey telling everything we've seen in the cartoon to her kids. Man, that would be so emotional. These Bluey theories are going way too far. We've selected two very cool videos that have everything to do with you, so you can keep watching fun content with us. Just choose the one you like the most and click on it. Thanks, enjoy the video.